And welcome back here. We're closing up day 2 Prepathon. A few more minutes to hang out with us here. Want to give you guys a little bit more value on today's session. If you are out there right now and you're thinking about how to get more leads for this busy holiday season, or if you're a freelance or agency business and you're trying to make sure that you don't end up empty pocketed at the end of the year when all of your clients are busy and you have no leads, you have no clients, we want to make sure we prevent that. And so we want to build you a killer lead magnet. This is an area that I see agencies and freelancers and all sorts of SMBs get kind of hung up on, where they'll spend weeks or months building a lead magnet, and then they launch it and they wait. It's like crickets, and then they don't actually get any leads. So we're going to be taking you guys through a live lead magnet building session here today. I have one quick ask for you, though. I need at least one volunteer in a few minutes to be with me live, and we're going to build a lead magnet with you in real time here at the Prepathon. And so there is a new feature that says join. So if you're currently an agency or a freelance business and you're looking to create a lead magnet, or you're an SMB, I probably prioritize agency and freelancers, and you're willing to jump on live with us, then we'd love to do this as a live workshop. So get those requests in. While we're doing that, and just kind of do a little bit of primer. You all don't know what a lead magnet is. Hopefully you already know what a lead magnet is. Looks like we got Mladen already joining us here live. Very cool. Mladen, one brief moment. So maybe just throw yourself on mute there, and then we'll come back and do the live build with you here in a second. So if you don't yet know what a lead magnet is, if you're somebody who's a service business or even a product business, and you have products or services to sell, but a lot of your traffic might not yet be ready to buy something or sign up for a strategy session, or contact you with a quote form, lead magnets are great ways to get somebody to give you contact details, an email address, in exchange for some piece of value. So first, I'm going to show you guys an example of one of the lead magnets we use over at UGurus. This is a recently launched lead magnet we have called the 10K Blueprint. It's pretty simple. Y'all have probably experienced lead magnets if you haven't ever built one before. You can see here we have a very descriptive headline, the 10K Blueprint for agency owners. We've got a little bit of a tagline. We have the actual opt-in box itself. We have some imagery here, some benefits, all this good stuff. So this is what a lead magnet is. It's pretty simple. If somebody happens to be a freelance or agency business and they end up on this page, there's about a 42% chance that they will opt into this. I know that number because that's our conversion rate on this page. So if there's 10 people, 4.2 people will opt in. I don't know what a 0.2 person is, but okay, 100 people hit this page, 42 of them will opt in for this resource, which is really cool, right? So they sign up for some information, they agree to be a part of our email list, they agree to get some additional resources through SMS or mobile, and then we give them some value, and then maybe a small percentage of those people end up becoming a customer, or at least we get to educate them with lots of free details and all that good stuff. So I'm going to give you all a quick primer because I have some strongly held beliefs around lead magnets. So we're going to do like the crash course of crash courses into lead magnets. And then from there, we will build a live lead magnet here with our friend Mladen. So a couple of quick principles for you guys when it comes to lead magnets. First of all, quick, I'd love to hear from you guys in chat. How many of you have a lead magnet or need to build a lead magnet? You've got some kind of lead magnet going on in your business right now. Let me know in chat. You guys have lead magnets that you're using? Need to build one? Need to do a better one? Mladen sure does because he's on stage with me. Who else has a lead magnet or needs? Yep, Eric, Steve, Stasha. Cool. Awesome. So a couple of principles here on lead magnets as you guys start to create this. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is when people create lead magnets that are about themselves and not about their customers. And so we want to make sure that when you are creating a lead magnet, you are getting in the head of your customer, not on what you think your customer wants, but I want you to literally like imagine yourself as your ideal customer. What are the things that they are going to respond to? And it's really key that this shouldn't be the things that you want them to respond to. It's the things that that they're actually going to respond to. So imagine, you're kind of putting on a VR headset and you're going to see the world through your client's eyes. The other key thing with lead magnets, the best lead magnets out there, is they solve a really quick problem. So it's like a bleeding neck problem, right? It's like something that is going on within your client or customer's worldview, and they have a problem right now, and you have this thing that could solve that problem. Doesn't need to be their biggest problem, just needs to be a quick problem. Like they skinned their knee and you're showing up all of a sudden with a Band-Aid. And this is key. You need to sell their wants, not their needs. So sometimes people build lead magnets that are like these really educational, vegetable sounding things, right? Like somebody out there, right? Like I'm never walking through the mall and somebody offers me like steamed broccoli. Like, you know how they give out like the free like treats or the free tasters at a mall or a shopping center? Like you never see somebody out there with like raw Brussels sprouts. Like, oh, come and taste my raw Brussels sprouts. It's gonna be amazing. Like, like that's not what it's like the steaming hot orange chicken, it's the French fries, it's the really tasty looking stuff that is probably not great for me, but it's really hard to say no to it. It's like walking into a party and there's like a bowl of nice tasty like Ruffles chips or something, potato chips, right? Like I know they're not good for me. I know I shouldn't have the chips. I certainly shouldn't have the really, tasty dip or whatever. I need to avoid that, but it's impossible. I see it and I just have to have some of it. So we want to make sure that we're giving customers stuff that they really want, not just stuff that you think that they need. And then we just want to map this out. And this should be activity that's going to happen really, really quick. We're going to do it with Mladen in record time today. And then finally, we're going to build fast and then multiply and then optimize later. I'd rather see you all launch 3 or 4 or 5 lead magnets, get them out there testing, see which ones your audience seems to gravitate towards, and then lean into that kind of topic area once you see it's working. I have watched businesses pour hundreds of hours into really complicated lead magnets, whether it be very lengthy ebooks that basically should have been a fully published book, or maybe quizzes or assessments or really amazing tools that they go and they spend all this time building stuff that people don't end up ever actually using. So those are a couple of principles that we're going to use as we go through today's live build session with Mladen. And Mladen, I hope you're ready. Can you give me a little high level? Like we're doing this live. There's been no preparation with Mladen, just so you all know. Mladen, what kind of business do you run right now?
Hi. Well, I'm running an e-commerce agency, and I have to apologize because I'm from Germany, and here is night. I'm not in the office. I'm right now in my basement here, so I have a very crappy keyboard. Maybe you will hear the sounds of the keys when I type. So I just want to prepare you.
It's okay, man. No apologies necessary this year at Prepathon. This is like, we're doing it live. People are going to have, Jean-Marie here has said all good. So I think we are all set. So you're an e-commerce agency. You're based in Germany.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other like fun facts? Like, is it just you? Do you have a team?
Yeah, it's like 6 of us currently, and we're going to hire a few people tomorrow, I guess. But so far, it's 6 of us.
You're going to hire a few people tomorrow?
I hope so, because we need some support for Eastern Europe. Yeah.
Ah, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Sounds like you're growing, which is very fitting for our day, talking about growth. So love hearing that. All right. So you guys undoubtedly you have an agency website. On that agency website, you probably have some content or information about your business. Do you currently have a lead magnet on your website?
Not on the agency website, because we are currently trying to do lead generation stuff right now, because we built the agency based on referrals only. So it went from mouth to mouth. Yeah. And I started myself. I used to work for various companies, and then I decided I'm going to start my agency. And when I think it was like 2 years ago. And I started, like that, like handshaking, like you said in previous session. That was the start, exactly.
The handshake is worth 5 Zooms, right? That was Jeff Correct. Yep. Yeah. So awesome. So we're in a great position, right? So you've got your agency, you've built it off of referral, word of mouth. We're now starting to think, hey, we want to get some more leads, all that good stuff. So one of the things that we want to do, and it's interesting too, a lot of people think lead magnets have to be things that somebody, we have to build a web page for. And we're going to do that live here today, but building a web page, a thank you email, an actual asset, all that kind of stuff, that is one version of a lead magnet. It's really interesting, Mladen, but like, let's say you were to go and do a podcast interview somewhere or an event like this, like we saw Chloe earlier. Lead magnets don't always have to be something that somebody goes and opts in for. We could do something as simple as, hey, if you guys want this workbook that I'm taking Mladen through, you should drop me an email, Brent@ugurus.com, and I'm happy to hook you up with this workbook. So I'll kind of end scene there, right? But that's an example of where we can use lead magnets very interactively within our business. You could even meet somebody in person at an event, and if they're like, oh, hey, I need this thing, you can mention, hey, I have this cool tool that would help you. Would that be helpful for you? Do you mind if I get your email address right now? And I can grab that information and I can email that resource to them. So we're going to create a lead magnet with you live here today. So I know you said e-commerce. Is there any other specifics in who an ideal customer is for your agency?
Okay, you're looking for customers for my agency, not for e-commerce websites which are selling stuff. What's really
Correct.
here?
So my assumption is your core business is building.
Okay.
You're building e-commerce websites for people, or you guys are selling on an e-commerce site?
Actually, we do both. I have few websites. Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. But we can do the agency part.
Let's focus
So,
on the agency if you don't mind.
yeah. For me, let's say that I'm looking for people who are having local businesses and they don't have websites so far, and they are selling products they can sell obviously online as well. So those are the customers I'm after.
Yep. So they can sell products online. Okay. What are their frustrations? Like, why aren't they online?
Because everybody else is.
So they're like discouraged?
Yeah, they're missing out if they are not online, because somebody else is online and they're doing great. So they're missing out, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what do you think is like keeping them? Is it the knowledge? Is it the confidence? Is it the money?
It could be a little bit of everything. I'm not sure.
Okay. So maybe it's like, they might lack the confidence.
Yeah.
They might lack the money resources. Maybe they lack the time. Okay.
Yeah.
So they want to sell their products online. Anything else that they want? And again, I'm just taking you through one of our worksheets that we use for kind of brainstorming lead magnets for agencies. If we could imagine a future state for your client in, let's say, 30 or 60 days, what would they want in that case?
Probably traffic and sales.
Ooh,
yeah.
Traffic, sales. What's like a big aspiration for your clients?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you that. For that, I'm
maybe like world domination. Maybe they want to take like a vacation, right? Or they want to have some freedom or something that an online business.
For me, for example, was a retirement plan. I want something to have as a backup, so I can lay back somewhere and don't worry about the money income. I don't know.
Yeah, love it. What's a fear they have? Like, what's kind of keeping them from becoming one of those competitors online?
Well, from the talks I had before with some of them, they are afraid, what if that fails? If they just spend a lot of money building that and then it doesn't work. So
what if this fails?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. So they'd be maybe embarrassed. I am not going to say that's necessarily spelled right. Maybe it is. Maybe the financial loss, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Stuff like that.
Cool. Awesome. So now I feel like I'm kind of in the head of your ideal customer. And I think these are some basic questions. This is called fears, frustrations, wants, aspirations. This is a very simple model of getting inside of our persona's mind, right? Is to brainstorm fears, frustrations, wants, and aspirations. One thing that's kind of cool about doing fears and frustrations, wants, and aspirations is frustrations are oftentimes the opposite of the wants, right? So we can actually, we could take, for instance, money, right? Like, hey, I don't have enough money to get online. We could actually flip that out around into a want and say, hey, I want to make money online, right? Like, I don't have money, I want to make money, right? That would be an example of trying to get into the head of our customer, right? Hey, I want to have traffic, I don't have traffic, right? One of my frustrations is I have a website, but nobody's coming to it, right? Might be
Yeah.
a frustration of somebody in your audience. Cool. So we're kind of in the head. We're going to come back to this worksheet here in a little bit. So we talked a little bit about problems. So like, just kind of, and again, I'm just dumping out the pieces here with you.
Yeah.
What problems do your ideal customers have, right? They don't have an online store, right?
Yeah.
They don't have store. Do they have a team in-house or resources for this stuff?
That could also be a problem sometimes. Yeah, that's why that's going to be one of the packages we're going to offer to them in future.
Yep.
Yeah, that sometimes it really is a problem. They don't have enough technical knowledge. Even it's simple, even it's like WooCommerce or something like that. They are just not feeling confident doing those things.
Mm,
Sometimes order processing. I know that because when I was working in a company before, it took me like 2 months to train them for WooCommerce, for example, but not because they were not intelligent. They just didn't have time. They were afraid of the change, stuff like that. So it was a challenge. But then it worked, and we did that I used to work for a company who is selling B2B stuff, and that happened during COVID, for example. Everybody was closed from their customers, but despite that, they did the best years ever.
yeah.
So yeah, that can be sometimes a challenge for them. They're just afraid of a change. They're afraid
Okay.
to embrace the change. Yeah,
So you guys
even
do
it's an easy and simple one.
WooCommerce. You do have
Yeah.
probably other websites. Any other solutions that you guys provide your
Well,
clients?
nothing is better from my perspective. Nothing is better than WooCommerce because it works on WordPress, and you can do wonders with that in terms of SEO. You can highly customize that. You have tons of tools available. You don't have to do a lot of development work. It's everything is there. You just need to know what you're doing and how you do it with those tools. So.
What's the coolest thing you guys have done for an e-commerce business in terms of a result?
The coolest thing, we started in February. What was the year when COVID began? Uh,
2020. So four
2020.
years ago.
So in Germany, back in the day, there was a law that every retail store needs to implement a piece of hardware in their cash registers because of the tax agencies. I don't really know all about that, but it was mandatory, and they had a deadline for that. And my company was the only one who was selling those. And they never advertised that. Nothing was, ever known about those little things. And I saw that we can do easy. It was easy to rank organically in Google for that. So in like 2-3 months, we managed to gain like 60,000 in revenue just from SEO source, so from free traffic, basically. So that was the coolest thing ever, and it happened during the COVID. So
Ah.
everybody was closed. All the restaurants, bakeries, hair salons, all of those businesses were closed back in the day. So that was the coolest thing ever
Okay. So I love the
to me.
60K in revenue from SEO. Any other like e-commerce store launches that you helped clients do that were like a marquee or some kind of cool result? How many stores have you launched?
Something like 20 so far, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, cool. 20 plus stores. Awesome.
yeah.
All right. So, like, do you have any tools or resources that are sitting on the shelf that you already have in your business that they're just like sitting there, just collecting dust?
Well, nothing is collecting dust. I mean, I have tools by software. You mean, or
Nope. Something that you guys have built, like a piece of content, maybe a spreadsheet, a guide, a checklist, something that you guys use internally to help
Oh, I
launch
got you.
stores or even do SEO.
Not yet, not yet. But I know what you are. Yeah, where you're going. Yeah.
Okay. So not yet. So you guys don't, so you've launched 20 stores. Have you ever like had to build a checklist or something that's like pretty close to done? Any kind of documents that you've used to organize the e-commerce businesses?
No, no.
Okay, so there's nothing just sitting on the shelf.
No, no,
You have the
everything.
cleanest. We call this the inventory, the garage exercise. You have the cleanest garage of any agency owner I know. The challenge I'm going to give you, Milano, we're going to go without this just because I'm looking at the clock today. But when you go back to your desk, I know it's whatever, tomorrow morning when you're sitting there with your cup of coffee, I want you to go into your Google Drive or your network attached storage. And I just want you to go and explore all of your client files, all the stuff that you guys have built for either your stores or your client stores. When you guys got that #1 SEO, look at those resources and documents. Go into that garage.
I have something. I have
There it
something.
is. What is it?
Yeah. It is a spreadsheet we're using for product imports. So it contains all the necessary and minimum data you should include in each product. Like description, SKU, EINs, those kind of things. All the product data you might need. And actually, we are using that for every single store because we are feeding the data into those spreadsheets using Google Script and stuff like that. And we are then importing using some tools that in stores. So it's really easy to manage, especially pricing. So like, because they have some of them, they have like tens of thousands of products inside. And when the prices are changing, it's hard to update. So they are using those spreadsheets. It's really easy to pull the data from store and then to return it in no time. So that's good, for example.
Love it. Is there any way, even if you guys spent a tiny little bit of extra time, is there any way for that product import spreadsheet to benefit the business in terms of SEO, or maybe it already does? Like, do you have any kind of SEO categories or SEO descriptions in there?
We have actually for not just for the products. Now, now when you mentioned Google Drive, yeah, I remember what we have. We have actually all that stuff for brands, for categories, and every brand and category has a short and long description, so you can go more granular. And we are then using custom fields to. I am now getting technical, but I don't want to do that, but
Yeah. Cool. All right.
The point is
normally
you can combine the content.
Yeah, we can probably spend a lot more time on this. I think I'm actually to the juice, if you will. Something else that you could do is you could also just do a separate open-ended brain dump of like things you think your market might want. But for all intensive purposes, like I think we're actually there, right? And what I'm thinking for your lead magnet is leveraging that product import spreadsheet, but maybe doing a little bit of positioning and packaging of that product import spreadsheet. Like, I don't want you to go and make something new, but what I'd love for you to do is take that product import spreadsheet, maybe spend 30 minutes or so just kind of polishing it up, making it like a public facing resource, and then maybe bringing in a couple of elements that would improve SEO of products. So if I'm sitting down as an e-commerce business and I'm going to inventory all of my products on here, if I use your tool, it's going to actually help me to organize my SEO, which is going to help me get more traffic, which is going to help me launch my e-commerce store faster or improve my e-commerce store. So that would be like a little bit of homework we do afterwards. But what I'd love to do is we're going to name this as our product
But
import.
for SEO purposes, categories and brand pages are working better for this purpose. If you're having SEO in mind, because products, they very rarely rank on the first page. Usually, you're taking advantage of brand pages and product category pages. I think it has more value if you're using that for because what we do, we generated two similar descriptions, and we are updating those on schedule. So every 2 months, and that pings the search engines like these people are taking care of the content. It gets updated. So this is like a golden nugget, I would say.
Yeah.
Because
so I'm thinking this is something like, and again, I'm apologies, my marketer hat, right? So rapid SEO growth, e-commerce toolkit, right? And again, I think I'd probably take this title, like rapid SEO growth e-commerce toolkit. I'd probably throw that in a chat GPT, give me a whole bunch of variations of it. And I'd probably find something that sounds pretty clean and kind of effective, right? But like a hook for this might be something like The only toolkit for SEO, for e-commerce businesses, right? For e-com businesses that can increase SEO in 60 days, right? This probably is going to be the yep. So the headline might be something like grow ecom SEO in 60 days. We're going to use the exact import sheet we used to sell 60K in services in 60 days. I'm riffing on the content here, and I realize you guys are having to read my handwriting a little bit. Probably should have done this on a Google Doc, but
It's okay.
we're gonna go ahead and say, sign up, receive toolkit today. Okay. So boom. All right. So I was in your shoes, right? We've just kind of sketched out a lead magnet. We've used this tool, the landing page builder, right? Hook, build, payoff. You guys are familiar with Stephen Pressfield. He's a very famous copywriter, but he talks about how everything has an act 1, an act 2, and act 3. And so if we're building out a landing page for this, right? At this point, I mean, gosh, we're like 18 minutes into us doing this live, which is amazing, right? Like 18 minutes ago, you didn't have a lead magnet. 18 minutes later, we basically have an.
I'm never doing those things for myself. I always have done this for customers, so it's like new, completely new for me. You got me.
Well, and this is like, we could do this like a live, right? So like, let's say for instance, you're somebody. I'm sure your agency website is on WordPress, right? So if we had access to a WordPress website, I feel like I'm one of those chefs on TV or whatever, right? So if oh look, it just happens to be a WordPress website with Beaver Builder loaded up right here on a lead magnet, right?
Oh.
So in here, my headline, right? I might go, okay, rapid SEO, rapid e-commerce SEO growth in 60 days, right? Probably not the best headline, but it's good enough, right? Subheadline, right? The exact tool we used to increase our SEO for our e-commerce business to page 1 and generate 60K. I realize that's a dollar, not a euro.
It's euro. It's euro. It's euro.
In 60 days?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know my quick key. All right. So rapid e-commerce SEO growth in 60 days. I'm not sure what I clicked on there, but we might have to give it a second to load and then unload. Oh, come on, Beaver Builder. All right, I might have locked up my Beaver Builder. I'm not sure what I clicked on there, but
that's why I'm using Oxygen.
Yeah. Okay. I love doing these things live. So, all right, but imagine that we had put in our subheadline. We would maybe fine tune some text on that page. If you're probably going to ask me to reset this guy, wait and watch the session. You will learn what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh. I'm wondering if it's going to probably not save my stuff, and that's okay. For some reason, my internet is not pulling up the website while we're live. All right, so that's okay. What you need to do, though, is just take your headline, your build, your payoff, load that up on your, Beaver Builder, Oxygen, whatever you're using. There are some really cool lead magnet tools out there where you can, that are specialized to lead magnets. You don't really need to get too fancy when it comes to your lead magnets. You can, like I said earlier, you could even build a resource like that. You could have it on a graphic that you put up on a webinar. You could verbally give that on a podcast interview. Like, let's say, for instance, Mladen, you were on an e-commerce podcast and you had this really cool tool for people to be able to organize their products or whatever. Or maybe the host talks about how frustrating it is to import, thousands of products. And you can say, hey, look, I've got this cool tool for e-commerce businesses. And we can easily share that with you. All you got to do is drop me an email, right? And then boom, you've got your lead magnet there. So I bet if you took this planning worksheet that we made today, probably within 30 minutes, an hour, you could probably have this lead magnet banged out for your business, right? And so within half hour, an hour, now we have a way to capture leads as you go into this holiday season. Over time, you can start to improve that lead magnet. You can create additional lead magnets. You're not marrying one lead magnet when you launch on your website. You're not saying, hey, this is my lead magnet. I'm going to only do this lead magnet. Like if you go to the eGurus website, we literally have dozens of different lead magnets. We're always testing new lead magnets, just continuing to build that list, build that audience so that we can share our expertise with the world. So Mladen, you've got at least one lead magnet idea today. I think I delivered on my promise. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, it's fine. Good thing you didn't have to hear my keyboard. That's awesome.
We did not hear your keyboard. Here, real quick, man, before we let you back into the general audience, how has been your overall experience at Prepathon this year?
I love it. I started this journey with Prepathon last year. That was the year when I started planning my retirement, as I said before. So this year I'm gonna expand the knowledge, and probably next year I'm gonna have a proper referral website or agency website which can work in the background and just generate revenue, and I can just sit back and relax. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Every year I'm learning something new.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I'm hoping that you don't have to wait till next year to have your lead magnet live. Maybe you can share that with us by the end of the week. But just to kind of recap, like find those resources that you already have sitting on the shelf. It was really interesting doing that live with you, Mladen, where at first you're like, I don't have anything. But then like a little bit of pushing. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait, actually, we do have a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of
We do.
businesses.
Yeah, I was just thinking of something else. When those guides were popular at some point, like for gym and diet programs and that kind of stuff, like PDF guide. I was thinking about those, but this is way more awesome, I would say, than that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan too. Like use what you have. Our best performing lead magnet. Now, uGurus, we coach digital agencies and freelancers how to grow their business. And I've run and scaled and sold several agencies. And so I have these website and digital marketing proposals that we give away for free. And my very, very first lead magnet, one of my first lead magnets was a website proposal template. It was a document I had. I just hit file, make a copy inside of Google. I removed all my clients' information. I put it online as a free resource. And that lead magnet to date has generated over 100,000 leads for our business. So
Awesome.
a lot of times we think, oh, we got to go write some big ebook. We got to go write a novel or a book, or we've got to create some cool tool. Personally, the best lead magnets I've seen out there it's the stuff, man, that you are already using. It's already right there in front of you in your business. Give it away for free if you can afford to. And hopefully that will help you grow as you go into this holiday season. Mladen,
Thank you.
thank you for joining us here on
Anytime,
our
man.
session. Really appreciate your insights today. All right. We are closing up today's session here. Gosh, I can't believe it. We are literally wrapping up day 2. If you haven't yet filled out the survey for Prepathon, please do that. The team is waiting patiently for your feedback, your insights on how things have gone for you this year at the Cloudways Prepathon. We're only 2/3 of the way through. Today was all about revenue and growth. Those quizzes, man, that crossword, that was intense. I feel like I got to go, take a refresher or something like that. But I hope you guys have got a ton of value out of today. Please make sure you get those surveys in. Tomorrow, drum roll, we have a value-packed day on AI and innovation. So I know lots of you out there are looking to leverage AI for this holiday season as you're going in and thinking about how are we going to make AI help us, do our launches better? How How are we going to help make Black Friday, Cyber Monday even better with the help of artificial intelligence? So make sure you tune in tomorrow for AI and innovation. We're also going to have lots of fun activities and some more quizzes. And we will also be announcing our winner for the leaderboard as well as all of our contests. So if you've been engaging and participating along with us, stay tuned for tomorrow where we will announce those winners. And just real quick, you all have a good time today? Just a little bit of love for all of our amazing speakers. Also, the Cloudways team backstage, they have been doing a killer job making this event possible. So let's give those folks some love for today. You guys have been amazing also as an audience. Thank you, Jean-Marie, Abdul, Mara, Hani, everybody's participated today. You've been fantastic. And we will see you tomorrow on the Cloudways Prepathon 2024. That is all for today. Tomorrow is AI and innovation. Until then, I'm Brent Weaver.